In this video, I'm going to discuss Pantera, the Pantera Reunion or Tribute or whatever you want to call it that's coming up next year. What do I think of it? Is it real Pantera? Is it blasphemy? Or is it like great? Is it fantastic? So let's begin. So Pantera, you know, when I was a teenager in the 90s, I was a guitar player, I had long hair. I was into rock, like metal and stuff like that. And when I discovered Pantera was, you know, one of my favorite bands. I really liked Pantera. Yeah, I was listened to a lot of their stuff. I had a lot of their albums. The song Sleep from Cowboys from Hell, I always think went under the radar. Like, that is just a phenomenal song. The song The Sleep on Cowboys from Hell, especially the instrumental stuff towards the end, it's just like mind-blowing. I just don't understand how that song went under the radar so much. That is just such an incredible song, The Sleep. Yeah, I like the earlier Pantera. I like Cowboys from Hell. Vulgar Display of Power I was a fan of when it came out. As it went into the later albums, yeah, it's still good stuff. There's still good heavy stuff, but I guess my tastes were changing a little bit, and it was getting a little more heavier. And as it got heavier and heavier, I felt like it wasn't as I don't know. I didn't like it as much as the earlier stuff, but fans do like the later stuff. I know there's fans out there that like the later stuff. And when I sit down and listen to it, I can see why. It's good. It's very good. It's creative. It's aggressive. They've got their own sound. Yeah. So, yeah, Pantera is a great band. But unfortunately, as everyone knows, the guitar player Dimebag Darrell was shot on stage and killed many years ago in the early 2000s. I can't remember the year. I think it was 2006 or 2009, something like that. Yeah. I can't remember the year, but it was probably 2006 or 2009. That seems to come to mind. And then his brother, who was the drummer, also passed away. So that's half the band gone. And they were brothers, and they kind of like Van Halen, when you got Van Halen and his brother on the drums, so you got the guitar player, kind of very integral part of Pantera. So when I heard that all these years later, the singer, Phil Anselmo, was going to reunite Pantera, I was very nervous. I was very nervous for many reasons. Firstly, I've heard he's singing in recent times, Phil Anselmo. And it sounds like he's just screamed to the point where he's ruined his voice. However, I've listened to his recent performances of Pantera, and he's got his voice back. So I was very impressed with that. I was like, wow, he actually is singing Pantera and doing justice. I didn't think that would happen. I thought once your voice is damaged, it's damaged forever. But especially with all that screaming he's been doing. But his voice is, in my ears, is restored and is doing justice. So potentially, as a vocalist, yeah, he could do justice bringing back Pantera. But who do we replace it with? Who do we replace these brothers with? And should we even replace the Abbott brothers? So, in my opinion, I think people get a little bit too overly emotional. So they worry about, destroying the legacy and pissing on the graves of the Abbott brothers. But they are, as bad as it is, they are gone. They're dead now. Their lives don't have any impact on the world today. And their lives don't have any impact on Rex and Phil, the remaining bass player and singer of Pantera. It's up to the other half of Pantera, Rex Brown and Phil Anselmo, the bass player and the singer. It is their decision to do what they want to. They're the only living members. It's up to them what they do with Pantera, and they have every right to do with what they want with Pantera. It's their band. They are 50% of the band. It's completely up to them what they do. It doesn't matter what people who have passed away would have thought. Potentially Dimebag Darrell, the guitar player, would have wanted to reunite. But it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter. They're gone. They can't speak for the band. They can't contribute in any way, whether it's good or bad. They're gone. So it's anything about them is just sentimental. So it doesn't apply to the real world, which is Phil Anselmo and Rex Brown putting back together Pantera. If they want to do it, I think it's great, and I think they should. But who do you get to replace the brothers? There was only one person I could think of that came to mind that could possibly do it justice and get away with it. So I was a big Ozzy Osbourne fan, big Black Sabbath fan, and then when Ozzy left Black Sabbath, I was obsessed with Ozzy in my teens and my early 20s. Ozzy Osbourne was my hero. And, you know, in the late 80s and early 90s, Ozzy Osbourne's guitar player, Zakk Wylde, you know, I love the first album, No Rest for the Wicked. I even like No More Tears. Zakk Wylde, when he first came and joined Ozzy, oh, what a guitar player, incredible guitar player. And the funny thing is he became friends with the guitar player of Pantera. Very close friends, and they've got a sort of a similar way of playing. They've got a similar sort of, they've got a similar way of playing, a similar sound in some respects. They're both probably equally matched technical as far as technicality goes, and as far as their fame goes, like the branding of them, you could say. They're both up there. So you've got the guitarist of Ozzy Osbourne and the guitarist of Pantera. They're both up there. There's nothing about Zakk Wylde that is less than Dimebag, and there's nothing about Dimebag that is less than Zakk Wylde. So the only person I could think of that could possibly do justice would be Zakk Wylde. And fortunately, much to my surprise and joy, they've chosen Zakk Wylde to replace Dimebag Darrell on guitar. So I thought, okay, that's a win. That's 3 out of 4 ain't bad. And then on drums, they got the drummer of Anthrax. Okay, fine. That's good. That's good. That's a good drummer. Very good. Very classic. Also, again, famous drummer. Very good drummer from a big band, Anthrax. Charlie would make a great addition in filling the shoes of the drummer of Pantera. So yes, that works. That works for me. Is it a reunion or is it a tribute? It doesn't matter. They can go under the label Pantera. They can call it Pantera. All the members are going to do justice for Pantera. So in my view, I think it's a great decision. The fact that Phil Anselmo's voice, to me, sounds good. The fact that they've got the right people for the job, which was going to be hard. Like, if they got any other guitar player, I wouldn't have liked to see that. I wouldn't have accepted it. But yeah, they made the right decisions. This is the right decision. This is the best thing Pantera could have done at this point in time. Yes, I'm happy. Tick of approval. Thank you.